Welcome to FADA TV, the video channel created by and for new car dealers and brought to you by the Florida Automobile Dealers Association.
Good afternoon, Ted Smith at FADA. I want to bring you up to date with a couple of things going on here at your association. I think all of you know that Ford Motor Company has introduced maybe some of the most serious threats to the franchise system that I certainly have seen in my time with this great industry of ours. And they are threats because they really go to separating the dealer from some functions that really are important to the franchise system. Our system is so good because of competition. So the dangerous part of any program is if it removes the key silos that you operate in every day at your dealerships. And I'm talking about, of course, pricing the product, how that product is allocated, how the product is financed, who handles the trade-in, and who sells the vehicle protection products, and right to the point of how is that vehicle delivered. So all of those things are being addressed in the Model E program, and they have a lot of dealers very concerned. They have us here at the FADA very concerned, but I'll guarantee you this, we're fighting for your franchise rights with respect to that program, the same way we fight for them every year when the legislature comes to town. So that's subject to. We've been working 6 months on a piece of legislation that is going to really help you even more than our current laws do. We're going to look at things like, should automakers be involved in reservation programs? Should allocation programs be designed that negatively influence your ability to get vehicles? How should pricing be done? Those are sales functions that have always been part of the dealer's domain. Those are being challenged now, so our piece of legislation is going to define what sales are to include those things, and then we're going to say that automakers are preempted from being involved in those sales avenues and sales functions. In addition to that, this piece of legislation is going to talk about and make clear that automakers cannot own dealerships. Now we know that's been part of Florida's law for a long time, but because of the presence of Tesla, Lucid, and Rivian, there's the potential for challenging just who can own dealerships. So we're going to make that very clear in this piece of legislation that automakers, legacy automakers who have dealers, cannot own car dealerships. And we're going to do that by affecting some of the definitions and talking about could they perhaps have a common entity that owned a dealership. So this is a very specific piece of legislation that you're going to like, and I know you're going to want to support with us. In addition to that, this legislation deals with the subject of electronic sales of products. We all know that that's coming. So this piece of legislation is going to say that dealerships should be involved in the sale of products, whether they're sold by the dealership at the point of sale or whether they're sold electronically after the sale. And we'll talk more about that, but it's basically going to be a 10% revenue stream for the dealer for a period of 3 years. And finally, and most importantly, this bill is going to address how and who should regulate the business here in Florida. You know, we have a difficult time getting the Department of Highway Safety to regulate manufacturers. So in this piece of legislation, it specifically allows the FADA to file complaints with DMV when there's an alleged violation of Florida franchise law. That is perhaps the most important piece of this bill. It's a very exciting time at FADA. It's an exciting time in our industry, and I look forward to having all of you support us as we go out and meet new members of the Florida legislature. We have about 30 of those. So stick with us, much more to come from your association, and as always, thanks for being a member.